Hey angels, thanks for clicking on this video. This video is all about how to lay and slay that wig. Starting with my light brown wig cap, I am putting it on my head and making sure that I have it placed exactly where I want it. I'm pulling the wig cap forward so I have excess wig cap. So when I apply the got to be glued, I have enough to cut it. Excuse my eyes. I have the wig cap where I want it. I'm applying the got to be glued right where I see my hairline and my forehead beginning. I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up just because I'm only adding as much got to be glued as needed. As you can see, I'm making sure there's a little bit applied on my forehead and a little bit applied on my hairline.
It's so timely. Like, where were you? Right behind me, laughing cause the joke's on me. I see what the others see.
It's now time to blow dry and make sure that's nice and secure.
Sugar rush, make me blush through my cocoa skin. I'll let you.
Moving on to cut into the wig cap, so I make sure that my edges are secure, applying the wig cap behind my ear and pulling the excess down just so I can hold it down. Now, to be honest, I really should have tied it down in this moment. It would have made sure my edges were nice and secure, but hey, I'm stubborn, I didn't do that. And since I didn't want to tie it down or didn't think of tying it down, as you can see, I'm about to go through this process of trying to make sure that this edge is secure in any way possible. I've noticed that the best way to make your got to be glued last is by adding this freeze spray and letting that dry. As you can see, the struggle is real, using anything to make sure I hold this edge down. Drying it a little more, and I'm going to go through this process for a while. The best suggestion is to just go ahead and tie it down. I didn't even necessarily need to add more freeze spray, but I did anyway. But yeah, the best bet is to tie it down, and maybe you can dry it from it being tied down, because there's no way that it's truly secure on the edges just by blow drying and nothing holding it. Now it's time to cut that excess lace. As you can see, I'm not cutting right where the line begins, just so that way I can slowly but surely go in with my scissors. I don't want to take a whack at it this early. To make sure that it's nice and laid, I would suggest taking your time with cutting this, getting closer and closer to the edge, and maybe even adding a little extra glue. As you can see, I'm adding some extra glue just to kind of lay some of that excess cap down. As you can see, trying to lay this wig cap, it is a process, but I would suggest just taking your time. Don't rush it. All good things come to those who wait. Got it the way I want it. Time for a thumbnail moment. Yes, honey. Yes. Now that I have my wig on, I'm going to go ahead and brush back all of the hairs on the wig so I can see that lace clear as possible. My wig is actually wet. I just washed it, but if yours isn't wet, I would suggest spraying some water across the hairline to brush all of those hairs back. You want to make sure you get a good view of the wig. Now I laid it the way I wanted it for the most part, and I'm just folding the edge back so I can go ahead and add my cling adhesive.
Let's make a mess. Watch me while I undress. Help me help you de-stress. I know what you like. Say less.
To lay this wig for the gods, I am using HerImports cling adhesive, waterproof adhesive. I found out when I first started doing my wigs that I am a sweaty individual, So with that being said, just using Got2b glue just did not work for me. Having a ghetto moment here, I couldn't find my comb that I normally use to apply this, so I'm using a spoon just to kind of lay it across. It's very good to lay the glue across and not leave it flashy. On the bottle it actually says to apply and let it dry and repeat around 4 times, but I think I only did like 2. I like it better when I only do 2. It is what can I say, easier to take off when it's that time. I actually bought the uncling as well, which I would suggest purchasing the uncling if you get the cling, because the cling ain't no joke, okay? Like, it is a struggle to get off, but if you want to save your baby hairs, I would suggest using the ball cap method as well as purchasing the uncling to take off that excess glue. Moving on from here, now that you see it's nice and clear because I let it dry. It's a little whiter in certain sides, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and take my time with applying this. As you can see, it was a little folded, so I had to pull it back a little bit and then apply. But I would suggest just taking your time and going section by section. I'm starting in the middle so that way I know that both of my edges are nice, secure. This process, you should make sure that it's right where you want it before you even apply the glue. So whenever you push the wig forward, that it's already set in place and you can just make sure that it's aligned. But yeah, go ahead and take your time. And as you can see, I'm just pressing that down to make sure that the glue is setting in with the lace wig. And brushing those baby hairs back to make sure that nothing is getting glued down. I want to later use my baby hairs. And now I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, kind of getting all of the hairs out of the way to apply the lace straight on the glue. I noticed that this side was a little harder. This is actually my second time wearing this wig, so the other side was easier because I went ahead and cut around my ear. I did not do that for this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that on this side just to make sure that my ear is not in the way and there's not any lace on top of my ear or folded behind my ear. Now that I have that nice and secure the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and brush all of those hairs back, except for, as you can see, my sideburns. It's about that time to make sure that lace is nice and invisible as possible. Thanks to Aaliyah J, I found that actually cutting the lace in a rigged manner or making sure the lace has an inconsistency makes a better way for people not to see your lace. You don't want to lift your head up and then they can see the white line going across. If it's too aligned, you will definitely be able to notice that you have a wig on.
Watch me while I undress.
Alright, mama.
Say less, say less, say less. You read my mind every time, and it's like your love was sent so divinely. Your timing, boy, is so timely. Like where were you?
Now it's time to lay those baby hairs hunty. I found that using a spoolie brush is actually what gives you the best baby hairs. As you can see, they're just laying across flawlessly. This spoolie brush is kind of like what you get when you have eyelashes to kind of make sure those are consistent. But using a spoolie to do your edges, honey, it's just God's sent, I promise. Now normally people would tell you to go ahead and cut the hair wherever you're doing the baby hairs to make it shorter, but I kind of just brush it into the rest of my hair because, honey, I'm not going to act like I know how to do something and I don't. And cutting is just not my forte at all. But the way I'm doing it works as well. So if you can't cut either and you want to do it like me, then go right ahead. This way works just as well. Is it just me, or does that hair look like it's coming right up out of my scalp? Honestly, I've been doing wigs for a while. I've been doing this lace front for about, what, 2 years now. And this is the best I've ever laid my wig. I think it's the ball cap method on top of taking my time, not rushing. On top of using this hair clean, honey, it cleans, okay? This lace is laid and slayed, honey. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me those thumbs up. Comment down below. Give me your opinion on my process. If you have any suggestions on how I can better lay my lace wig, I would love to hear about it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hope to see you guys in the next video.